Hi friends, welcome back to Rustic and Lace DIY. Today is just our imagination. Oh my goodness, it's that time again. I can't wait. So with all of that, let's just get to crafting.
Okay, DIY number one. So I have this house sign from Dollar Tree. I've had it for a little while, and I decided I'm going to try and soften up the color a little bit by going over it with my Waverly Antique Wax. And I'm just going to brush it all on and then wipe off the excess with a paper towel. I actually did this a couple of times just because when I wipe it off, it just seems like a lot of it was coming off and not soaking through. So I did have to do it a couple of times. Then I took some square beads and some round beads that I had in my stash, and I went over them with my antique wax as well. I just brush it on and then wipe off the excess. And while those are drying, I have these little hearts that I believe I got them from Dollar Tree. If it wasn't Dollar Tree, it was Hobby Lobby, but I'm pretty sure they're Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to paint them red instead of gold. I wanted to have a little pop of red on this piece that I'm making. So then I'm going to take my square beads here. I'm going to hot glue a round bead to it. And this set is going to have 3 square beads and 2 round beads. I'm going to do 3 of those sets. And then I'm going to do 2 sets with 2 square beads and 2 round beads, and then 2 sets of 2 square beads and 1 bead. You'll see what I mean here in just a moment. But when you do this, you want to make sure you're lining those holes up. After I had them all done, I took some Scrabble tiles that I have. I get these from Amazon. They come in a huge package. And I'm just going to hot glue them onto my house. And it says, "Love grows here." And then after that, I'm going to once I had them all glued on. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys. I'm not feeling very well and I am just wiped out. Oh, man. Sorry about yawning. But I'm going to just hot glue these onto my house here. And you can see the pattern that I did. I did the tallest ones, one on each end, one in the middle, and then the next tallest one, and then the smallest one, as you can see. And then I took the hearts and I'm going to put them through the holes. This is why it's important to make sure those holes line up, because you want to be able to push the stem through. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue on the bottom just to kind of hold that stem in place. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other end. And I wasn't sure. I thought I had missed one. I thought I'd felt one move of those tiles. So you saw me there holding on or touching them. But then on the middle one, I wanted to cut it down. So I just put it through my beads. And then I'm just going to take my wire cutters and cut the tip off the bottom here. And then I added the little hot glue at the end too. Then I took some, I think these are ranunculus. I got these this fall from Walmart and I thought they were a pretty color. So I just cut them off the bush and I'm just going to put them into the rest of those beads. And I'm just going to push them all in just like I did with the hearts. And they fit in perfectly. And then after that, I am going to take some red ribbon. I got this at Christmas time from Hobby Lobby. And I'm just going to thread it through the hanger holes and then tie knots on the back so that way we have a pretty red hanger to just kind of go with all of those, the hearts and the flowers. When I was doing this, I was like, this is going to be a lot of brown. So that's why I decided to add some red to it. But I'm going to just take some twine and make just some little shoelace bows. Nothing special, just your regular little bow that you would make like you do with tying your shoes. And then I'm just going to put them under the hearts. And that's all there is for this one. I think this came out really cute. Something you could have up all year round. It doesn't even have to be for Christmas or Valentine's Day. Oh my goodness. Okay, today is the Just Our Imagination Challenge. I host this on the second Monday of every month with the sweet Kathy Jo from Kathy Jo DIYs. And every month there are 3 must-use items. And then the group gets together and picks the person they felt was most creative with those items. And so this last month, they picked Belinda with BB's Crafty Haven, and she made these lovely pieces using an embroidery hoop, tumbling tower blocks, and acrylic nails. And it was so much fun watching her use those. So make sure you check out her channel as well as Kathy Jo and the playlist. I'll have links to all of them in the description box below. Okay, so here are our must-use items. So we had Belinda picked a light bulb, any kind of light bulb. I've had this in my stash for a while. I got it from Hobby Lobby, and I thought this would be perfect. And then I picked wrapping paper, and so I got this after Christmas from Walmart, and I thought, oh, this might work good for Valentine's Day. And then Kathy Jo picked stove burner covers. So we have a couple there. I wasn't sure which one I was going to use. But I'm going to start off with one of these little hearts from Dollar Tree. I removed it from the strings, and then I'm going to take my spackling and fill in the holes. And I was pointing there because I think I was talking to Kathy Jo when I was doing this. Anyways, after the spackling was done, I took my Waverly Antique Wax, and I'm just going to brush it all over my little heart here, and I'm just going to keep this with my antique wax, and then I'm going to take a paper towel and wipe off all the excess. And yeah, and so then after I was done with this is a super easy one. In fact, you guys, I only got 3 projects done. Like I said, I haven't been feeling very good. I just don't have any energy. And so I only got 3 projects done for this video, but I just love the ones that I made here. So then I took this heart, also came from Dollar Tree. I've had it in my stash for a little while. And I'm going to do the same thing with my antique wax. I'm going to just brush it all on and wipe off the excess for the whole heart, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the beads. Now, if you like more of the Valentine colors, you could still recreate this using, pinks or reds or whatever you want. I like the more rustic, and I'm really feeling rustic lately, you guys. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I'm just really feeling the rustic vibe. But then when I was done with that, I took my little heart here, and I'm tracing it out on the paper, the wrapping paper, and then I'm going to cut that all out on the inside of the lines that I traced, because I wanted it to be a little bit smaller so that it would fit behind my heart. So then I'm just going to use my Elmer's glue stick here. And yes, it's purple, but it dries clear. And I just felt like this would probably work the best since that wrapping paper is so thin. And so after I have this on there, I'm just going to lay it over my heart, making sure that it matches well, or it's even up. And there it is. I love this. And then I'm just going to use hot glue. Now, I would recommend not using hot glue. I would recommend using like Titebond glue or something like that. I don't know why I didn't do that to begin with. But anyways, I'm going to take some ribbon. I've had this forever, but this also came from Hobby Lobby. They had it at Christmas time this year. And then this one as well. And I'm just going to make 2 bows doing the awareness ribbon, scrunching them up in the middle and putting them together and tying them together with some twine. And you're just going to see me do that right there. Once I had that all done, I'm going to dovetail the ends of those bows, and you're just going to fold and cut at a angle. And then I decided, oh, this heart is thick enough, I can staple it in. I don't know why I didn't hot glue it first. That would have been smarter. But I'm like, oh, you know what? I think I'm going to use some hot glue first. So I'm just going to tack that middle down and then staple in between, or in the bow part there. And then I had taken another small heart and covered it with my antique wax. And then I'm just going to glue it right on top of that bow to cover the twine, and there it is. It's so simple, so cute, and like I said, it could be for any time of the year.
I hope you're enjoying today's video. I know this is such a fun playlist, and many of you guys really enjoy it. And it can be challenging sometimes, but sometimes it's not that bad. A lot of times it's not that bad. So if you have a crafting channel and you think, oh, it's too hard to craft with those must-use items, I would invite you to challenge yourself because it really isn't that hard. If you've seen what we have done in the past, sometimes some of the things that I've made have not been that pretty. I can think of the little ugly bunny for one. But anyways, challenge yourself, step outside. It is a lot of fun. And sometimes you just look at something and you don't have to do anything major big with it, right? You just have to cut it up and and use parts of it. But anyways, I just challenge you to join us, and you will have a lot of fun, and I know you will. Our chat can be hilarious at times, especially once we announce those must-use items. And it's a lot of fun, and we have a good group of women that are helpful, and we all like to help each other and laugh. And so don't be afraid of it. Give us a try. And if you are not a crafter, and I hope you're enjoying it. I'm sure you are, because I know I hear it from a lot of you guys that this is your favorite challenge. But anyways, before we get on, I just want to welcome you if you're new here, because my name is Brenda. This is my Oliver, and I feel like I'm babbling. But anyways, we are so glad you are here. If you enjoy home decor on a budget, I would love it if you'd hit that red subscribe button and become part of our YouTube family. And for all of you guys that are here every video, I appreciate you so much. And you guys are the best. And make sure you do all that fun stuff. Hype, like, comment, share, whatever else there is. And with all of that, let's continue on with the video.
Okay, it is a time for celebration of your recreations. And look at all these pretty pieces Pam made. I love them all. Oh, that snowman is so adorable too. Thank you so much, Pam, for sharing those. And then Mary, look at her pretty pieces that she made. They are just so lovely, Mary. Thank you so much for sharing those with us. And then we have Kathy, and look at these sweet pieces. Oh, those little bunny rabbits are just adorable. So is your mitten. I love them, Kathy. Thank you for sharing them. And if you have something that you've created that you would like me to showcase for you, you can send me pictures to my email address, which is rusticandlacediy@gmail.com, or you can send them to me through Instagram or Facebook Messenger. Okay, DIY number 3, the final one and the best one, if you ask me. So I have one of Dollar Tree's cutting boards, the stove cover, some finials, and I'm going to paint those with Waverly Chalk Paint in the color ink, which is black, and then a 6-inch wood round from Hobby Lobby, some wood rings that I got from Amazon. I got a package of different sizes. I'm going to go over them with my antique wax. Once I was done with all of that, I'm going to take my Titebond Quick and Thick Multi-Surface Glue, and I'm going to glue my rings together. Now, one of the rings is bigger than the other 4, and when I'm gluing them on, one of the reasons why I like using the Titebond is because it does take a couple minutes for it to really adhere. So it gives me time to move them around and make sure they're in the right place, because I have tried this before where I've glued a couple together and they were crooked. So I've kind of learned my lesson. So I'm just going to keep gluing them and adding them all on top of each other until I have them all glued. And then I'm just checking to make sure it looks even and not crooked. And then I'm taking just a baby wipe and just kind of carefully wiping off the glue that's seeping through the edges there. Then I'm going to take my Fix-All glue here. Since this is a metal cover for the burners, I'm going to take my Fix-All glue and put it all around the middle of the backside of my wood round, and then I'm going to use, and that's for permanent hold, and then I'm going to use my hot glue so that it just sticks while we're waiting for that permanent hold to take effect, because we all know that metal and hot glue just don't really work too well with each other. And then I decided, okay, I'm going to hot glue some rope. Now, again, if you want to recreate this, I would suggest using like that the glue I just had, the Fix-All glue. Oh my goodness. But I'm going to use hot glue. I figured it's going to work because I'm not going to store it in my attic. It's not going to be in a hot spot. It's going to be in my room. It's not going to be moved very much. So hopefully it works. But I'm going to glue some rope all the way around my burner cover and then on top of it. So I'm going to go around twice. The second time is kind of on top of the first, just to help kind of cover up the gap that was in between my wood round and the burner cover. So after I have it all glued in, I'm going to use my lighter to just go around and defuzz, because this rope from Dollar Tree is very fuzzy, and I'm just going to defuzz it with my lighter. But if you aren't comfortable with that, you don't have to do that. Then I took my finials, and again, my Fix-All glue, I'm just going to put some Fix-All glue on both ends, and then just a little hot glue on the other ends where there's no Fix-All glue. And I'm going to glue those finials to the bottom of my stove burner cover just to give it a little bit of a riser effect. And after I have those all on, I'm going to take, I also took some, I'm doing this next. Sorry. I created a stencil with this saying. It's a song from back in the 70s, I think. Anyways, I created this stencil with my Cricut. If you don't have a Cricut, you could use stickers, or wood letters would work as well. But I just went over it with Waverly chalk paint in the color plaster. Once it was all dry, I removed my vinyl here, and then I'm going to use my weeding tool to get all the little pieces. And then I am going to take 3 tumbling. These are the bigger tumbling tower blocks. I got these from Dollar Tree for $3, or you can get them from Five Below for $5. And I am going to add my Titebond glue and hot glue. I'm going to glue them on top of each other, just like you see. And as you can see, I painted them black as well. And then once I have them all painted together or glued together, I'm going to use the Titebond glue and hot glue to glue them to my wood round. And you guys, I love this so much. I'm amazed at how wonderful this came out. When Belinda said a light bulb, I was like, what am I gonna do with a light bulb? But you guys, I have to say, I think this was just perfect. Anyways, I'm gonna add my Titebond glue to that side of it and my hot glue, and I'm gonna add my cutting board sign right in front of it. And wasn't quite sure how I was going to make this work, but man, like I said, I just love it. So then I'm going to use my Titebond glue. I'm not going to use any hot glue, just my Titebond glue. I'm going to glue those wood rings to the front of my sign here. And then that light bulb, before I get there, I'm going to hot glue some of my favorite I call it braided jute cord. No, braided jute ribbon is what I call it. I get this from Amazon. I love it. If you've been around for a while, you know I'm always using this stuff. It's one of my favorites, and I do have it in my Amazon store, which the link is in the description box if you're interested. But I'm just going to go around my cutting board with it, and then just cut it off when I get to the end and glue that end piece down. Then I'm going to take my light bulb, and I'm going to remove the bottom, and I'm going to string some fairy lights in there. I love these fairy lights. I get them from Amazon because they have a timer in it, and so you just set it on timer when you turn it on, when you want it to come on every night at that same time, and then it will go off 6 hours later. And what's nice is the fairy lights, the wire is so thin that you can just screw that little bottom piece right on, and then just kind of screw it in those round wood rings and turn it on, and look at how adorable this is. I absolutely love this. This is in my room at the moment, and I'm staring right at it because it's all lit up and beautiful. Anyways, here's the final reveal. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure you check out Kathy Jo's video, Belinda's video, and the playlist, and see what they came up with. And make sure you subscribe to everyone, like, share, all that fun stuff. And with all of that, I will be back on Thursday with another video. So I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.